So confused. You guys know every day I have to do like the whole copy and paste all the numbers and all this stuff. This thing just started by itself. Okay.
Oh, damn. All right.
Okay. I wish, but see, why can't I do that every day? Welcome back, everyone. Another live stream. We got NASDAQ at a beautiful discounted level for buys. We have US 30 that just broke new highs, and we have most of you listening on YouTube just barely getting by. All right. Just jokes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another live trading stream. If you haven't already signed up for the NASDAQ masterclass to learn how to day trade NASDAQ with a proven and tested strategy, click the link in the description. Learn how we trade model 1, 2, and 3. We got all types of models. Last week I was with a Sports Illustrated model, and today I don't even know. All right. That's about as far as I can go. Everybody else, welcome. If this is your first time on the streams, we cover basically different markets, commodities, indices, equities, and Forex. I mostly trade NAS 100. I'll either trade CFDs or futures, and I day trade my strategy live every morning, almost every morning. We're getting there. Make sure to grab your tickets to FX Summit 2024, the #1 conference for investors, traders, and entrepreneurs. The link is in the description. Chart Addicts team, we're doing it big this year in Dubai, having private events. Make sure to check us out. See you there. If you guys can let me know in the YouTube chat if you can see me, hear me, are we good? Are we alive? Do we have a pulse? Okay. I'm going to use a fresh chart here for NASDAQ just to go through what's happening. Go ahead and hide this moving average. So most important thing is price, action, and structure. All right, so we're at this discount right here on NASDAQ. You guys can see we've already established support right here. Stay in drawing mode. Okay, support right here, and then support right here. Now, members, if we know anything about Duck Duck Goose, we know what's coming. And so if we look at this higher time frame model, we have the first phase right here. We have the expansion phase right here. We're in a model 1 right now with a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. I think the next target is going to be the top of the range. And once we hit the top of this range, then we're going to break above a little bit. We either come in for one more big retest, or we break above that high, establish a new range, and then start to create a new floor before the continuation. So I'm bullish. We already have the inverted head and shoulders. If you guys have been following along with the streams, this is the exact entry we talked about on Sunday. We had 2 entries that we spoke about. This is 7, 8. Nope. I'm going to head over to the Sunday. By the way, thanks for all the support, guys. Swaggy C video is doing crazy numbers. Hope you guys enjoyed it, for real. Let's go to the live streams. Sunday market outlook. Where's NASDAQ? We saved NASDAQ last but not least. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so 2 trade ideas here on NASDAQ. Right now, we're in the middle of that first trade idea. So as you guys can see, we have the consolidation range. We have that price level of 19,667. I have to move this fib down. That was too many sixes for my liking. Let's go ahead and just, I'd rather be less accurate. All right, let's fix that up. Okay, 657. But you guys can see the support of this higher time frame range. Price was already bouncing. We're looking for a break above those fibs and a retest so that we can take the market higher. If you guys pay any attention on these calls, as you all should be, then this was just about the easiest trade that you could have taken. Today, retest entry still hasn't come in. We're waiting for the retest. I'll show you on the smaller time frames, but for the higher time frame move, this is very straightforward. Looking to take price to the top of the range, and then I have a second potential entry down here at the 19,165. Put something in the chat. Put something in the chats. This all makes sense. Okay. Awesome stuff. Gold very nicely hit the magnet level, deep reversal. We've already come down for this retracement. I think we can go a little bit lower. just a little bit lower to retest these levels before we continue. I'll check back on gold here later. USD JPY is at a beautiful buy entry right now. Let's see how the DXY looks. Wow, the DXY hit the super secret magnet indicator zone to the decimal and just acted as support and bounced off. Hold on. Yo, people, is this accurate? Can we talk about accuracy right here? Wow. Super secret magnet indicator. Can't beat it, can't fight it, can't touch it. I can even sometimes barely read it. 103.7 smashed, 105.7 smashed. And now we have a beautiful retest at the 103.7 level. So if the DXY is at support, we're likely to see a recovery back to the upside. And so USD JPY, higher time frame, 886, double bottom with the DXY at support. The last confirmation I need, I'm going to head over to the Japanese yen index and see if we can get some confirmation here. So for UJ to bounce as aggressively as we'd like it to, you got to have the dollar going bullish, and ideally you'd have to have the JPY going bearish. Now, because the dollar is the dominant currency, even if the JPY is recovering like it is now, if the dollar is recovering more, we'll see UJ go up. That's the basics of currency correlation. Whichever currency in that, whether it's the base or the quoted currency, has more volume, and usually the dollar is the more dominant currency in each pair, regardless of what the other currency is doing, if the DXY is aggressive, that's going to determine the movement. So the dollar's going up, UJ go up. If the dollar's going up, Euro USD goes down, because the dollar has more strength than both the euro and the yen in either of those two crosses. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna do a little. I'll do a little something for fun. I'm not gonna swing trade this because I can't really swing trade this, but I'll do a paper trade just for fun, just to keep track of this. Hit the I told you so's. What's up with these units? Oh, pretty easy. And now we just watch. Oh, actually, before we watch, now we set an alert so that when it bounces, we know. This is a pretty straightforward trade. And we have Euro USD starting to come down for that retracement. Looking good. Looking good. All right, beautiful. Let's head on to the smaller time frames here for NASDAQ. Look for this retest entry. Head down to the 1 hour time frame. Get off of this feed here. Let's go to Owanda real quick. Go ahead and remove all the drawings. Super secret indicator number 2 coming in hot. I'm so confused. Jacob, is it just me or is this different than the chart you just had up?
I had the and the chart. It's the same. Let me see.
Oh, you had your fib drawn from the New York low, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then we moved it to the London.
No,
To
no, no. I like the New York low a lot more because what I'm realizing here is, you see, this is Asia, right? We already
Mhm.
had a breakdown. That was the first move. And then we had a break above. That was the second move,
Yeah.
which means
Yeah,
like this is going to be the bullish, or because we had that fake bearish move first, we actually might go bearish and then go up. That's
mm,
why I want to see, like, that New York retest makes a lot of sense because we had that first fake out. We haven't really finished that move. So let's
yeah,
see
that
where this
nice
goes.
deep pull back to that New York low would be nice.
Yeah, but the market ain't that generous. They're stuck with steady waiting all day for retests that never come.
Like
Story of my
watching
life.
grass grow.
Brother, I wish. I'd rather watch grass grow. It'd be more interesting. I'm like, yo, look. That fucking oh shit. All right, let's go body to wick right here. 750 sitting purdy. Extendo. All right. And then go ahead and hit a second entry. Right there. Well, that sounded crisp. I just heard my brother crank a bang energy from like 2 rooms away. That shit sounded like a commercial. That was crisp. Had to give a disclaimer. I had to tell him before you say some wild shit, just keep in mind I'm on stream. What up, Vanessa? Members, if you're not doing this already, you got to. All right. Because you guys can see how like the entry levels I have are sitting pretty far above the support here. And so it just kind of looks like a random zone. You can either keep all your fibs levels up, excuse me, or you can go wick to 886 or body to 886. Right? Body to 886 or even the wick to 886. Why? Because, and I'm gonna go through this in the masterclass 2.0. So anyone who's already taken the first masterclass, we're hosting a follow-up masterclass 2.0, which is an advanced version, kind of going deeper on the strategy. But tester entries go at the top. Most entries are going to probably reject right in the middle, and then worst case scenario, you can have an entry at the very bottom of the box. And so it allows you to kind of visualize it as opposed to just getting fixated on the one fib level and thinking that has to be the perfect rejection. Instead, you start to realize that markets work on ranges and zones and not necessarily price lines. And I think this will help a lot of you guys just with the psychology aspect. I said, long time, missed you guys. Missed you too, Vanessa. It's good to see you. That's what I'm talking about. Where can I sign up for Masterclass 2.0? Jacob, do we already have the registration link or do we have the applications? What's good?
There's a waitlist being sent out today.
There's a wait list getting sent out today. So I can see it's a good interview. Hopefully it helps my little brother to stop sleeping through the day. Maybe something sparks in his life. Camille, there's no maybe. When someone's going through something where they lost a lot of interest, they're kind of in that depressed mode where, you know what I'm saying, they don't really have the same motivations to do all the things that they wanted to do, that they like to do. They got to find something bigger than their problems, right? We all do. The only way you're ever going to be able to get over any of these overwhelming feelings, because overwhelming means it's overwhelming. It's like it's taking over all the other desires and all the other energies. So you got to find something that kickstarts you that's bigger than your problems. You got to find a bigger problem. If I'm gonna be honest with you, that's how I run my life. You got problems so big you can't solve them. Go get a bigger fucking problem and watch how those start to take a back seat. Watch how those become very manageable all of a sudden. All right. It'll get you moving. Deep inside of us as humans, we all have that thing to go fight, to go hunt, to go take care of ourselves and the people around us. We all have that desire and it kind of gets beaten out of us. So make sure you're curating that all day, every day. Get competitive if you can. You know, just, don't, what do they say? How am I trying to say this? It's not don't get in your own way, but don't dim your own light. Don't, man, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Everybody here has a passion. Do not dim the light of your passion because it'll make you miserable and it'll start to make you resentful of life and it'll make you basically lose all types of enthusiasm for the things you used to love. All right. And also, you can't rationalize someone out of depression. You can't talk to someone out of depression. Depression is not something you talk yourself into, something you sort of believe and accept and identify with. It's an identity at some point. It's not a thought process. And so you got to get physical, man. Physiology determines your psychology. Get your body active, and then you can have a combo. This one, I think only time can help. Camille, 100% being understanding, not trying to push, but actually just being like, yo, I get it, man. I get it. And then leading by example is the only thing you can do after that. If it's that bad, lead by example, be understanding, and I promise you everything comes around. Now, with that being said, everybody, NASDAQ's making its way up to the top of the range, waiting around for this potential entry. Let's talk what's happening around the world. Joe Biden has issued a statement, has officially stepped down. Whistleblowers inside the White House have made it clear that they found out about Joe Biden's resignation from the tweet, not from an internal White House memo. Meaning Joe Biden himself did not issue a statement to the White House. Kamala Harris did this fake sort of town hall meeting pretending to be on a phone call with Joe Biden, but it was a pre-recorded line. At least that's what it sounded like. And it was an absolute shit show disaster. On top of that, and if it couldn't get even more embarrassing, the fact that we have basically a Manchurian president who can't finish his term, but still will finish his term somehow, has not shown his face to officially resign in front of the country. And now we're stuck with Kamala Harris, which is probably worse than Biden. All that aside is embarrassing to the global stage. And if you're thinking that I'm being politically partisan, maybe you're still stuck in 7th grade where you don't understand how the world works. But yeah, if you guys don't think that Russia and China and people who want to kill you and your family and your children, and you don't think that they're watching this and thinking about a moment of weakness and saying, wow, great chance to take advantage of America and flood even more potential danger into the country using a time of a lot of chaos. Okay, that's exactly what's happening right now. They are watching this in absolute shock at the embarrassment that we've created. But now at first I was like, okay, we have a bumbling idiot as president, but if anything, that's a show of strength because clearly the system works. If the cabal, the elite behind the scenes can run the show with someone as incapacitated as Biden, like clearly the system is working. And then you see the head of the Secret Service go and do that deposition in front of the Senate and the House. And you realize, holy shit, the most prestigious organization in the world, the #1 premier detail for the most important humans on earth, the nuclear codes, the leaders of the free world defending democracy and freedom over every part of the globe, the last bastion of hope, is an absolute incompetent retard, right? Or a crook. Because guys, look, there's a very fine line between incompetence, between negligence, and then between being involved, right? Negligence means you didn't pay attention and you fucked up. Incompetence means you didn't even know that you're supposed to check the roof. You didn't even know how many agents you're supposed to have. And nefariousness is they assigned 13 additional details to Jill Biden's event, 400 fucking people in a ballroom of a secured casino location, but they only issued 3 versus 12 extra agents for Jill Biden, who's the first lady, not a president, not a runner-up, with a 400-person event in a safe location like a casino, in the same city as Trump. And then they only sent 3 additional detail to Trump's event, which was an outdoor, unsecured location with credible threats from some of the most dangerous countries in the world, like Iran, who wants payback for the death of Soleimani. That is, you're involved. And everyone's like, wow, we all make mistakes at work. People, not those kinds of mistakes. You didn't forget to send an email to Janet from HR. You almost killed the fucking president, right? Everyone, bro, this is crazy. We got to have higher standards. And the fact that everybody's on some like, no, everything's okay kind of culture, I think is very, very destructive. Okay. I gave Cheeto a little bit of credit because she's a 30-year tenured veteran at the Secret Service. Yeah. I'm starting to realize that just because you have time in the game, people used to shit on me all the time and when I worked at the banks. Oh, you haven't been around long enough. But you've been here for 30 fucking years. You still ain't made it out. Right? Maybe you should take a couple notes. Right? So just because someone's been tenured for 30 years doesn't mean that that's a good thing that they have all the right wisdom. That might be the most horrible thing. How the fuck you been in politics for 30 years? The country's only gone downhill since then. What the fuck have you been doing? Excuse my language. Okay? People, this is called passion, all right? And it's called truth, because at the end of the day, where else are you going to get this information? Like, I'm listening to all the news events. They're all like, well, maybe, and they're trying to give everything like a very generous interpretation. Some of this shit is there is no generous interpretation, bro. Use fucking common sense. Anybody in their fucking anybody with 3 brain cells that could have rubbed together would have known that Biden was in cognitive decline, right? And if you didn't see that, and if you needed this whole nonsense to tell you that Biden's in cognitive decline, then safe to tell you, you have cognitive decline. It seems like the last 3 years, we've let the delusionals take over the country, take over the world, take over media, take over podcasts. I literally felt like I was going crazy last couple of years because you would see a tree and it'd be like, hey, guys, look, it's a tree. You know, a bunch of people being like, oh, you hate grass? What? You don't believe in trees? I'm like, wait, what? And what the fuck? Be like, that's not a tree. Be like, did you know that it's been 200 years since trees? Bro, what the fuck are we talking about? That's a tree. Like the sky's blue. Like, oh, Roy hates red. Yo, son. That was the last 3 years of my life, basically. So now that we have some common sense back, right? Oh, the Secret Service agents should be big enough and strong enough to carry the fucking president. This is not a debate about, oh, men, who's better, men or women? We're not 12. We're not 12. The White House is arguing over the whole men versus women thing. Or should we hire female versus male agents? But I used to go to a shooting range. I know some women that are sharp shooters that behind their back, eyes closed, could shoot John Wick rounds around all of us, except for maybe Bryce. Okay? That don't mean she can pick me up. You guys understand? And that don't mean I can shoot like her. Shit, give her the gun. I'll pick people up. Right? Teamwork makes the dream work, but we have to put people in the appropriate places. I think the DEI priority of having 33% female Secret Service agents, even that being a quota, shows the disaster that's happening over there, because the priority was not over logistics. It was not over clear quantitative measures of what makes a solid protector of a principle. They were going for diversity-based quotas, and that's why Trump got shot. Just saying, it's either that or they were in on it, and we can't have it both ways. You're either so stupid because the people you hired are so incompetent that this happened, or this was on purpose. Okay, let's go through Forex Factory real quick. Richmond Manufacturing Index. Horrible print. Now, to be honest, I have zero interest in the manufacturing index, but whenever I'm gonna give you guys a little cheat code here. This is for the serious traders out there. If you ever want to know what the effect is of a certain event, you have always pre-populated on Forex Factory 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the previous releases. You can go individually to each date and then look at the price movement of the instrument you're trading to see the correlation. So let's go to March 26th was the last time we had a major miss, which was a double-digit miss, March 26th. Let's go see if there's any effect on NASDAQ, March 26th. Make sure I don't lose my original markups. Beautiful. And then we'll have our 2 price alert set here. Beautiful. All right, let's go March 26th real quick. April, March. So it's released around 10 a.m. on March 26th. Won't go that far back. Okay. So we had the pre-market consolidation right here. We had that push to the upside right before market open. Consolidation right at market open, right when the news dropped, it kind of consolidated, and then it released the trend, which ended up being bearish for the day. So even though pre-market it started bullish, We had a little bit of a retest during this middle period, which we're currently in right now. Then we ended up getting the second leg of that move. So that's what we could see. That's actually exactly what I was expecting for today. Yeah, good stuff. We already had a bullish kind of push right before the market opened. Right now, we're in the consolidation. And then ideally, we get that pullback to these two levels so that we can go long. It doesn't look like I'll be taking a trade today. Probably not going to get this move until probably 12:30. By that time, I'll be in back-to-back meetings. And so those are the price levels. Make sure to have your alerts set. Okay, even if you're busy, if you have the app, you'll get alerted. You can still take the trades. Steve said, "Love it, Roy. What you talking about?" Oh, big Steve. Love it. Okay. Said, "Yeah, that Cheadle hearing was a horror show." Brother, it was almost depressing, bro. It was so fucked. It was so fucked. Because what you want to know is that the courts, like the Supreme Court and the circuit courts and the appellate courts and the Secret Service and some of the Federal Reserve, like these institutions are intact. Okay. The FDIC, the federal banking, the Treasury, like you want to know that these institutions are intact. We know Congress is corrupt, right? Never trust a politician. There's never been an honest politician. We've heard these sayings for years. But you'd never, before '08, people used to trust the banks, like with their life. And then we realized the banks literally are the most fraudulent companies on God's green earth, right? Same thing with all the other institutions. The CIA and the FBI. Now, there's the Twitter files that came out, which shows the corroboration between these federal government agencies and these private media companies that were censoring certain information prior to the elections, et cetera, et cetera. These institutions are hijacked. And that's why I feel like Trump poses such a big threat, because if you are and I'm not saying the agencies are corrupt, I'm saying that there are key players and key decision makers, influential people in these agencies that are corrupt. And they have an alternative agenda to what the agenda of the agency, the responsibilities of the agencies are. And this hijacking of these people has created all the mess that we see today. And then we have somebody like Trump, which is basically representing the end of the show. Like the music stops now. It's all done. As soon as Biden's out, and that's why they kept trying to delay this, but as soon as Biden's out, the show's over, the music stops. All these people who had been living off the privilege of the executive for the last 2 years, 3 years, now they have to go find a real job in the private sector, right? Real work. And so they're all trying to play this off. So Trump, I think he represents a big threat to those existing institutions. And that's why we're seeing a reaction of a wounded animal backed against the corner on its last. Like when you back an animal into the corner and it's on this life or death, that's when you get the craziest, and that's when you get the worst, and that's when you get the dirtiest fight. And that's when it just turns very ugly and very brutal. And that's where I think that we are right now. The next 4 months are going to get uglier. We still haven't seen what the October surprise is, but yeah, y'all. If y'all look, I'm gonna put it this way. Okay. I'm gonna put it this way. If they're willing to try all this shit against Trump and to do all this against Trump and the lawfare and to fund tens of millions of dollars of lawsuits, which, by the way, Reid Hoffman should go to prison for literally single-handedly funding all these campaigns and being basically a pillar of the destruction of America. So fuck Reid Hoffman. Just throwing that out there. What else? Guys, this is real stuff, by the way. If you find this boring or whatever it is, and you're like, I don't really pay attention to politics, maybe you should grow some hair on your chest, right? What the fuck else are you watching? Like Teletubbies? If you're over the age of 18 and you're not paying attention to politics, like you need to grow up, I guess. Now, I'm not telling you to fucking stay glued to it, all right? That you do not need to keep up with the play-by-play. That will ruin your life. What you do need to do, though, is stay informed. Otherwise, you wake up 2, 3 years later in a world that you don't recognize. You wake up 4 years later in a society that has values that you cannot understand. You can't, connect with. So you have to stay competent. And a lot of people I talk to always hit me with I don't really pay attention to politics, because it's like, well, I have my own life and all this shit. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you watching fucking Mr. Beast? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, I get it. Love Island. Right. Love Island. Yeah. What? This is breaking. She just resigned. Who? I told you guys she was a front. I told you she was a front. Wait,
I think he means the director of the
son of a bitch. You almost got my hopes up, dude. Yeah. Does she have what it takes to beat Trump? Does anybody here, can anybody please make one good argument in any alternative universe that Kamala Harris can beat Trump? How fucking stupid. It's like, oh, we're going against Messi, right? Oh, let me put like my paraplegic cousin in there. What the fuck? People, can one human anywhere on God's green earth not even give me a way she can beat him? Just put it into words that I can rationalize. Put it into a framework that I can understand. Give me one modicum of insight on how they expect Kamala Harris to beat Trump. Can anybody give me one phrase, something, any human on God's green earth, one person who would vote for Kamala Harris? Yeah, you think on TV she's bad? Imagine what she did off camera. Bro, I went to one of the live events. I saw her. It's worse in person. It's like on camera, at least you can cut and pan and fucking go off screen and come back on screen. In person, you just gotta stand there in that awkwardness of what the fuck did she just say? Insane. Okay, you're telling me Cheeto resigns? If Cheeto won't resign, fire her? Yeah, no shit. Why the fuck would you wait for her to resign if she's refusing? She needs to go to jail, bro. Because on top of, okay, I understand you're not on the field and you're not a field agent. Who you're hiring, the priorities of your fucking agency led to this disaster. And if you want to prioritize all this fucking dumb DEI bullshit over protecting the president, then yeah, you got to go fucking find a desk job and leave it to professionals. And if you guys think this is too harsh, people, again, she's not working at Xerox. She's not fucking working at the FedEx store, doing the copies. You're protecting the president. Every 4 years, you have the same fucking campaigns, the same thing, 4 months out with the most contentious election in all of American history, on the brink of a damn near a civil war in the country. And you fuck it up that bad, bro. Yeah, you gotta quit. You gotta get fired ASAP. And if she refuses to drop, they should put her ass in jail for real. But yeah, she did not resign, unfortunately. They will get rid of her. The issue is that the Secret Service is under the behest of the executive. And so the question is Biden going to fire her? Where's Biden is the question. Biden doesn't even know where he is. And so, yeah, very unlikely that she'll be gone. And that's what I mean. It's like everybody around the executive wants to keep their job. And so they're all trying to like claw at this thing. Even though they don't deserve the role. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna make this personal against Cheeto, but when you almost kill a president, and it's the most important election of our lifetime, and then we almost got stuck with another 4 years of this madness. Yeah, it is a big fucking deal, and it matters. Bro, the amount of men watching baddies is insane. What the fuck is baddies? Her best play is identity politics. She don't have a plan. She can't even do identity politics right. Bro, she's West Indian. She's not even African American. That whole African American thing. Go look up her record in California over the prosecution of African Americans for simple crimes, for the third strike rules, people in jail for 10, 15 years for simple possession, and then 3 years later, cannabis is legal. She has by far the most disgusting record as a prosecutor I've ever seen in my life. So her only two things are the identity politics card, and that one doesn't even work, right? Like, does any woman here genuinely think that Kamala Harris should represent us as the first female president? Is she the one that, ladies, that you want to put up there as the one to represent for all women? Is that the one? Is that the one that y'all want to put up as the stamp, because if she fucks it up, it's gonna be like, see, we told you shouldn't have a woman president. Is she the one? Fuck no. There are some very competent women in the world, people. This is not a men versus women thing. There are some extremely competent women in the world that would do a great, great job. Kamala's just not one of them. All right. Bro, the amount of men watching. Okay, we already went through that. What the fuck is baddies? I can imagine what will be unburdened by what was. You know, yesterday will be tomorrow, and tomorrow will be the next day. Kamala Harris is amazing. How much that resonates with all the people. Yo, fuck you, Camille. Okay, guess who said the same thing about Obama when he was running? No, I was a big fan of Obama because he represented change. He was extremely well spoken. He had a candor and a presence that lit up a room. I saw Obama walk into a room one time, and he had like a presence that followed him that you can understand why he basically got every young person out their seats and got a country excited. So no, I did not say the same shit about Obama, Chris. I'm saying something about Kamala Harris. If you would take the wax out of your ears and get your head out of your ass, you would literally hear me, because I just beat that point to death for 20 minutes and you still couldn't understand it. And if you couldn't get that point, how the fuck are you going to trade? All right. Said, I'd rather Hillary, dirty laptop and all. No, I'd rather eat glass, brother. Hillary Clinton. They fucked up. You guys want me to say something that's going to get me kicked off YouTube? You guys want to hear a conspiracy theory? All right. You guys want to know the real reason why we went to war with Russia? You guys want to know why the war crowd and the machine, the contractors, the defense contractors, and the military industrial machine lobbied so hard to go to war with Russia and to basically agitate them by putting NATO troops on their border? Do you guys want to know why we did that? Anybody have a giant guess? Oh, Putin's a bad guy. Yeah. Anybody that's not 7 years old? Anybody? Look at Trump's record. Yeah, Chris, it was incredible. Every single human here was financially and socially way better off when Trump was president, and except for you, apparently. Trump's record is incredible. 0 wars. Every other country that was basically ripping off America started paying their just dues. All the countries in Europe that trash America every fucking day and then charge us all these import taxes, and then we pay for their protection while they shit on us all day, every day, and they charge us import taxes. Yeah, Trump got that right. Made them all basically pay their fair share. Put China on skates. Russia did not invade Ukraine. Let's see. Israel did not invade Gaza. Gaza did not think about attacking. Iran did not feel emboldened to fund the Houthis. Let's see what else. The strongest economy of all time. Markets hit record highs every single day. Record low unemployment rate. Let's see what else. The greatest economy that I think we've ever seen, minus COVID. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. It seems like a pretty good fucking record to me. Versus Kamala Harris, who can't string a sentence together. I don't know. You're in an alternative universe if you say that. Oh, very good rebuttal, Chris. I'm glad that you identified some key points of what I said and actually came up with a good point of your own. But no, you just want attention. So here it is. Funded HBCUs, peace accords, etc. I can go on. You can't argue with stupid. They said Biden just got to the White House, or so they say. I saw what's his name? Robin Williams dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire, Dad. I thought that was a woman. All right. So just saying, disguises exist. All right, Pops. Not getting conspiratorial, but I'm just saying. Dad says, depends on how many people hate Trump. This is how Biden won. Oof, good point. Okay, so they're not voting for Kamala, they're voting against Trump. Bro, imagine that. Imagine that they hate somebody so much, like just like Chris. No reason, no actual points, no metrics, no data. Hate somebody so much they're willing to burn the country they live in, let their house literally sink, just to like stick it to somebody who does not affect their life. Like if Trump gets into office, that does not affect the somebody's life, you know? It really fucking doesn't. It affects policies, right? It affects local governments, kind of who's kind of emboldened. It affects society a little bit, but on an individual level, if Trump gets elected tomorrow, I'm still showing up to the streams, just like I did when Trump was president, just like I did after he was gone, just like I did when Jerome Powell was the Fed chairman, just like I will do when after Jerome Powell's gone. Right? Doesn't fucking matter. But they're willing to sink the entire fucking country just to stick it to somebody that doesn't give a fuck about them, and you don't give and they don't give a fuck about you. Like, do you guys understand how sick, how like unhealthy that is? That has to be a mental disorder. How is that not a mental disorder? If you're willing to if you're willing to literally kill yourself and ruin everything because you don't like someone, that has to be a mental disorder. It has to be a derangement syndrome. It says Cheeto did resign. $15 minutes. Well, it's about fucking time. They got to use this like sad ass picture and all this shit. Bro, you don't work at the Froger, at the fucking Froyo shop. Bitch, goddamn. You have literally the toughest job in the world. You should be a sociopath. You should not have emotions. You got to be fucking tactical, goddammit. This whole fucking, she got her head down and sad and shit about getting fired. But, what the fuck? This is so stupid. Now, the real question is, okay, that's all cool. Okay, her getting fired or whatever is like, that's nice or whatever. The FBI investigation is being done by the same Department of Justice and by the same FBI that was going after Trump. Okay, so that's an even bigger deal, which is, are we even going to get the right facts from this investigation? By the way, everyone who's asking me, Roy, what would you have done? Here's how you handle fuck ups. You walk out and you say, I fucked up. You walk out and you take responsibility for it. And you walk out and you say exactly what happened, what needs to be addressed, and how it's going to be going forward. You don't dodge. You don't try to put it off to the FBI investigation. You don't try to save face. You don't try to limit the personal liability because you don't want to say something out of turn or whatever. You are the top of the food chain at the Secret Service. You're the number one top. Nobody can tell you you shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have said this. You are the head. And if you got to take the hit to take responsibility for something this fucking egregious, you got to fucking do it. This is the thing about any leader of any organization. It's like a good sports coach. You give your players the credit when they win. You give the Chargers team the credit when we win. Take the blame when we lose. That's a good leader. Cheeto did not do any of that. Pass on blame to the FBI. And then the FBI is basically doing some bullshit in the background. Now they got to fire that lady that couldn't holster her gun. Actually, Eric Trump was doing an interview with Matt Walsh or somebody at the RNC, and they asked him about that, and he said that he actually knows that lady. She's a very, very close protective service agent for the family, and she's actually extremely competent. That was just a lapse in whatever the fuck happened in that moment. So, let's not get too hung up on those short clips. That lady ain't killed Trump. That lady ain't refused to put people on the roof. It was the field office. It was the field office. It was the chain of command. It was the correspondence and radio that they were supposed to be all on the same channels and having common communication. Whoever set up that site, did the perimeters, the field office is to blame. The individual agent who had that, who couldn't holster her gun, that was a joke. The one who was hiding behind Trump, she needs to get fired. Okay. The Secret Service agent, the dude who was behind him, that as soon as Trump put his arm up, he kind of like ducked behind Trump's arm a little bit. But then again, I'm not an expert in that. I am an expert, though, in organizational leadership, and that was a disgrace. Okay. It's in mosquito season. Okay, you need Trump in the White House because you need handout. Chris, go home. How do I remove this? Go to channel, put user in timeout. Okay. Be gone, Chris. You can't argue with children, bro. And this is how we should have been treating the fucking the loonies for the last 3 years, by the way. Because you'll make a good point and they'll come back and say, you just hate whatever, or they'll just come out with like some personal attack or whatever. Should have just kicked them out the conversation and said, children, go back to the kids' table. Let us know when you're ready to talk. And we should have been done with this. And now we're 4 years later still debating men and women's sports and all this dumb shit. Okay, this is what you get, people, for not having the balls to speak your mind. So everyone who's like, oh, you're being too brash on these streams and you're being too unfiltered or whatever. Yeah, maybe if you did the same, we wouldn't keep fucking being in these messes every fucking time. Like, how did we get into another war and we spent $50 billion? It's like, no one wants to say the unnecessary, no one wants to say this shit no one wants to hear, man. The plan is to widen a river from the Black Sea to the Baltic because going under Africa is a 2-day loss. Ukraine has the best lithium, copper, and silver in the world. Camille, no. They don't have the best lithium and copper in the world. South Africa does, though. If we're going to talk about Tanzania, we're going to talk about Mozambique, and we're going to talk about, really, it's those two. Those are the powerhouses right now. I get it. Chill. We'll go ahead and fib from bottom to top. Coming up close to the London session. Lows. Yeah, yo, we almost I want everyone here who's in the States to think about this. Like if any of the stands wanted to invade today, all right, look at the group of 5 friends you spend the most time with. Look at the boys, right? You know the boys, you guys be drinking together and smoking and hanging, watching Love Island, whatever the fuck y'all are doing, right? How would your 5 boys do if any of the stands wanted to invade today, right? Or Russia, right? Like Khabib's people wanted to come invade today. We're all fucked, right? Let's not go Dagestan, right? But if any of the other stands wanted to come invade today, y'all think we're doing okay? Go in the corner and tell us what you did, Chris. Go to timeout. I mean, yeah, look, if you're gonna act like a child, you're gonna get sent to timeout. It's that simple. Chris, the demos are the ones putting their hands out for years. Yeah. Can I check GJ? Let's do it. Midstream reminder, make sure to check out the NAS 100 Masterclass. This is the last time I am doing the 4-day live masterclass for NASDAQ 1.0. We said this before, right before the CFD kind of meta quotes, futures, prop firm transition. We ended up extending the deadline for the masterclass 1.0 and how long we were doing it to try to incorporate some more relevant information about taking profits and things that are relevant to the futures platforms. But now I'm getting ready to start working on Masterclass 2.0, which is the advanced version of the class for all the folks that have already taken Masterclass 1. You cannot apply for Masterclass 2 unless you've already successfully passed Masterclass 1. Not just bought it, you have to have completed it and passed. If you guys don't want to miss out on this strategy, it's, with no exaggeration, the greatest strategy in the world, especially for day trading NASDAQ. And you don't want to miss out on not having learned the system. Make sure to check out the link in the description or go directly to chartaddictsfx.com. I'm pretty sure the link is also pinned in the YouTube chat messages. GBP JPY on a larger time frame retracement. I just showed you guys the JPY index, which is in a retracement right now. So I think we see quick 4-hour. We can go boom, boom, boom. I don't necessarily like that. No, I do like that a lot. I like these. 198.95 for longs. Now, there may be an entry. May just be an entry at 200 flat. Okay. 200 flat, where this previous area of resistance became support, but right below that zone, we have this beautiful area of support. Okay, so I'd say 198.9 That's my most likely entry. And I would look at this as a swing trade as opposed to a scalp. In the meantime, you're in the middle of this bearish swing. And so we'll cover this in the masterclass 2.0 as well about how trends form, which is you have the duck, duck, goose. And then you have, that reaccumulation on the way down, impulse, reaccumulation, impulse, last accumulation, duck, duck, goose, and then we start the whole thing over again. Cover that in the NASDAQ masterclass. That's how trends move. Gave you those levels. Yeah, welcome. Tell a friend. All right, what else we got about Don Cheadle here? That was so disrespectful to Don Cheadle. I'm so sorry, Don Cheadle. An absolute legend, an American hero.
The details that they were learning on phone calls and in brief.
Yeah, hold that. I like this. The United States Secret Service has a no-fail mission. I like that. Like, you can't fuck this up. It's the only job it's not like, oh, you made a cake and you fucked it up. This is Michelin star. Every plate has to be perfect to the fucking millimeter. Like, there's zero room for even one flake out of touch. Like, there's no room for that. It's perfection only. Yet it failed on Saturday when a madman attempted to assassinate President Trump, killing an innocent victim and harmed others. How rooftop within proximity to the president was left unsecure. Yeah, something about this is not adding up. Are we going to get the right answers? As long as Elon Musk continues to own Twitter, I think so. I think as long as Elon Musk continues to own Twitter, we may actually get some answers to this. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to hop off this stream. Good to see you guys. We're waiting for this retest. Expecting two different prices here. The first price is 19,760 or 19,750, a little bit closer down there. The other one is a retest, 886 from the New York lows. So you can measure the New York lows from yesterday, wait for that pullback. I got a pretty good feeling that because of this double top, lower high as well, you guys can see the body of the candle right here, body's closing lower. We actually could be in for a bit of a deeper retracement before we continue. And so personally, I'm not taking the trade unless we retest the New York lows from yesterday, which if I can just remove these drawings, pull back to about 19,665. That would be ideal for a pullback. I also have this higher time frame play at 19,165. And so we covered this on the Sunday Outlook. The recordings are there. We're either going to do this or we're going to do this. I'm either going to buy it here, and if it just keeps bleeding, then I'm going to buy it here. And if you did not understand that, you ain't got no business entering a trade today. Get your face back in the books. I swear you got to open a podcast on controversial topics, Roy. You'd be up there with Lex Friedman. Yeah, and I'd also get shot, C4, right? I can say all this true stuff and make these clear observations because I'm a trader and I notice patterns that people just very conveniently ignore, right? Because millions of people looking at this chart today, you guys seeing something completely different, just ignoring all the patterns of how the market actually moves. And my job is to basically identify those patterns and predict future behavior. And so when I just do that naturally and I just spit it as a fact, it typically comes out pretty true. But then when I say it to an audience of this size, I'm fine. And one day I'm going to pop off and then they're going to find these and they're going to be like, Roy said that it was staged. Roy said that he said that Don Cheadle was a Secret Service agent, right? They're going to hit me with whatever. And I'm going to have to own up to it. I'm going to say, I did say that. And I was wilding out, right? Trading is fucking boring. And what the fuck am I supposed to say for an hour and a half while we watch grass grow and wait for these trades and be responsible with the trading? I'm going to make jokes, right? Now, here's how I stay alive, people. I'm going to go do an open mic comedy show. You guys should all show up. It'll basically be just for Chart Addicts members. And then anytime they come for you, boy, I'm going to just say I'm a comedian. I'll say, look at that special I did, right? And then I can literally get away with saying anything. Pretty sure Machiavelli put this in the book, The Prince. Said if you're gonna say the truth, make it funny. Otherwise, they're gonna kill you. Right? Shout out to Machiavelli. Or it might have been Marcus Aurelius, one of them. Can we just attribute it to Churchill? Like, if I just don't know, I'm gonna just say it's Churchill. Churchill said it. Okay. Give another one to him. Can I buy a front row seat? It'll be a free show, Max. Y'all got a front row seat every morning, though. Are you not entertained? Is this not enough jokes? You want a whole show? Talking about the masterclass, what happened on July 22nd? Camille, what happened on July 22nd is this is the last masterclass that we've ever done. And it seems like everyone is asleep at the fucking wheel. And what we normally do is just do the class regardless. But I told my team, we can't have a launch and then have all these people that want to get in later. And then we have to like reopen the class for something and go back on our word. And we just don't want to do that. We don't have the time and we don't have the, frankly, like we've made that decision. So we're pushing it off until we basically get the people that are interested in getting in to get in the class. And if people really genuinely don't care enough and we do have a low turnout, then it's probably a good thing that we're ending the class, right? So that's the kind of reason that we pushed it, Camille. This is the last one. So we got to make sure that we make it count and everyone who wants to get in or needs to get in has a chance to do so. Take the masterclass, gang. It's worth it. AB Mike knows. Everybody here knows. The members are kind of on some like quiet stuff. They ain't telling their friends and whatnot because they're like, oh, so we're like the chosen few. Like we got in and then the door closed, and now we got this strategy that's literally, I'm sure anybody who's taken the class can tell you, is obviously the best strategy around. And nobody else gets to have access to it. Y'all being a little gatekeepy, okay? You guys are a little gatekeeping. All right, guys, we're just going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to hop off, go crush it for today. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out chartaddictsfx.com for the masterclass. Use promo code chartaddicts. And also, FX Summit 2024 conference is November 20th to the 22nd in Dubai at Festival City Arena. We want to see you guys there. We have an incredible lineup from the trading side. You guys may recognize the Raja Bankses and the Swaggy C's. I'm talking to a few other folks, Dan and this guy, Andrew. Dan and Andrew are huge prop firm traders out in Dubai. Great guys. Dan, wannabe champ on Twitter, and Andrew, still working with him. I'm trying to convince Umar to step on that stage. He's a little hesitant because he has prior engagements, but I'm like, better, you gotta cancel those and move some things around. So we have a pretty good lineup there on the trading side. Obviously, the most famous trader on Wall Street, Peter Tuchman's opening up the show. For us, we have the top 5 crypto exchanges in the world, including KuCoin, Kraken, Binance, Bybit, Gate.io, Bullish, and OKX, all on the same stage. You heard me right. All those names were there. Coinbase, potentially. That one, I'm working day and night on because we need Coinbase on that stage. And just as a selfish note, that would make me happy. Bob Elliott, you guys know Bob Elliott, Dr. Richard Olson. We have some folks from within the community. Top Tier's current CEO, Dave Gutman, absolute stud. And I think that prop firm panel with some of the newer executives, we needed to get away from the influencer trader guys running the show and being the face, and then getting a professional executive, because they were doing some of the right things, but they just couldn't communicate it effectively enough. And then they had kind of Discord managers explain stuff, and it wasn't that good. Dave and some of the other folks that have taken over recently as a professional CEO have basically been over communicating, set up a good framework, set up a good timeline for what the customers can expect. If there was issues with liquidity and stuff, when are you going to get your payouts, and communicating that. So I think this is the future of where things are headed. And I'd like to hear a conversation with all of them on the same stage, so I know exactly where the shit is going, and I can stop basically playing whack-a-mole with these prop firms. US 30 buys just hit again. Let's see. Negative 61 extension on the top. That does look good. Only thing is, these weak ass closures. Also, this like wedge formation right here. Not a big wedge guy. It's typically where you see this. Not a big wedge guy. Very weak price action. We are forming higher highs, higher lows, and so still technically valid. Double top or double bottom at the 61. It's possible. Very possible. All right, price action way too slow today. Happy and safe trading, everybody. Check out those links. Catch you later. Make sure to check out that Swaggy C interview. Drop a like and subscribe on your way out, and make sure to check out the Columbia event. All right. Chris Brown said, I told my friends and showed them it's deeper than that. My fucking dude, Chris. Okay, Tokyo is in the building. Hitman, what's going on? Shout out to Tokyo. Konnichiwa. There we go. Hit him with the domo arigato. Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know I could speak Japanese. Bet y'all didn't even know I could speak Korean either. Right? Annyeong? Annyeong, I say, hit him with the fucking Mandarin. You guys know I can speak Mandarin? French? Arabic? Swahili? I'm lying about that last one.